refuse to lose. I'm built to win. Apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse. Mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win. Apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hello. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of RBO. It's your boy Vaughn here to break down a couple of more playoff games that we just had last 2 days. We had about 5 games that we're going to talk about really fast. Before we get started, like, subscribe, and share this with anybody that's an NBA fan. We are heavy into the first round of the playoffs, and most of the series are tied up 1-1. Got a couple that are 2-0s right now, but for the most part, we got some good battles going on. Also, down low, you can become a member with the R2L family if you just click the link down low in the bio. Under that, there's a link. You can become a member. You join our chats on Instagram. We have a lot of fun on those chats. We talk about the games live. We debate live news. You get a lot of good stuff on those chats. And also, every show that's on the network, because I'm not the only one, we cover baseball, boxing, and a plethora of other sports. So please check out everybody, download their tag. Just click on the link, subscribe to those guys, and you will not be disappointed, not one bit. With that done, let's get into the action, okay? Our first game that we're going to go over, we're going to talk about the 76ers, okay? And with this game, the main thing that we're going to talk about their young star guards, VJ Edgecombe and Tyrese Maxey, because, oh my goodness, didn't those boys put on a show. The 76ers ended up winning 111-97, tying the series 1-1. Paul George had 19 points. Tyrese Maxey had 29 points. And then you had VJ Edgecombe with a 30-point double-double because he had 10 rebounds as well. And then Maxey also added 9 assists. So if you guys were with me last show when we talked about, well, not the very last show, the show before last, when we talked about their game 1 matchup, I spoke on how the Sixers should allow Maxey, just open up the floor for Maxey and allow him to create. And 29-9, if you watch that game, the floor was opened up enough for him to work because, to be honest, nobody on that team can really guard Tyrese Maxey. And it's not because he's just too skilled. He's too fast and skilled. It's like the combination of both is hard to stop. And then you have the shooting ability of everybody that's on the Philly team. You know, you got Drummond out there knocking out threes. So Tyrese Maxey, I thought he really controlled the game. From the jump, he took 10 shots in the first quarter. So he was very, very aggressive starting the game. Also, I want to give a shout out to Paul George really fast. I think Paul George came out the gate very aggressive. I was on him last game. He only shot 8 shots the whole game. Well, the first quarter of this game, he took 4 shots. He was 3 for 4, setting the tone, which in these type of playoff games, that's what you need. You need to set the tone. You can't get punched in the face, punched in the mouth. You have to do the punching. You have to be the guy that is going to initiate the contact. You can't be the team that just going to, take the punches. And Paul George, to me, came out and he was just a little bit more aggressive. And that's what you need, especially when he's the best wing player that has size on their team. Kelly Oubre is nice. He's a good guy. And VJ and Tyrese are smaller guards, but Paul George, 6'7", 6'8", can do a little bit of everything out there. So I thought that was very critical for them as well. So we do have a guest in the building. He's in the background. We about to get him up on here. I got my boy representing the Boston Celtics. See, I just spoke about the Sixers for a reason. Welcome to the stage, my boy Mike. How you doing, my boy?
What's going on, bro? What's going on? Thank you for having me today, bro.
Hold on, I gotta do it the proper way, my boy. Hold on, I do it the proper way.
All right.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Welcome on RBO, my boy. So
Appreciate you.
you had game 2 the other day. You know, you guys let the Sixers come in y'all building and tie the series up. So you're here. You say you had something to say. You a Boston fan. Let the people hear it.
And as you know, I particularly was not, pleased by that performance. I feel like we can do better. And we all say, we've said it before. You said it about your squad. David said it about his squad. I'll say it about my squad. Live by the 3, die by the 3. We literally did not shoot well. We shot, what was it, like 33% that night or something like that. D White, he had like 9 points. Shooting was terrible. JB needs help. Jason Tatum needs help. Come on, it's a team effort. Everybody needs to get involved. We need Pritchard to step up. Come on, man. We got this tied up now. Let's go to Philly. Let's take care of business in this game 3. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Mike. Just know what's funny. That was the first thing I was going to bring up about you guys. I was going to say, everything else was cool, but if you look at the 3 points, y'all shot 89 shots, and 50 of those shots were threes. And y'all shot 26%. Y'all hit 13 out of 50.
That's what it was.
And they shot 19 from 39, 49%. So that was really the difference in the game, to be quite honest.
Absolutely.
And of course, VJ just going nuclear, no one expected him to really come out there and drop 30. He's playing with a lot of confidence right now. And I think what happened was y'all put a lot of tension on Maxey and then Paul George that he kind of slipped out the cracks, It's like, and he's a very confident young player. He's the type of guy, you give him something, he's going to take it. And I feel like that's what that was a lot of yesterday. But speaking on the 3-point thing, what I recommend for you guys, I think that the tone should be set from your two best players, and that is attacking the basket. And because when they attack the basket, it opens up the floor for everybody else. What you think about that?
1,000%. We have to get in the paint, get Kaden involved, get guys like Luka Garza. Get them guys involved. Luka Garza is nice in the paint. I need Vooch to be better, bro. I need him to be better. He looked kind of like, out of it. He just didn't look like he was all in, in game 2. And that we really need him, especially when Kato's on the bench. And, you got Garza on the bench as well. Like, we need guys like Vooch and stuff to step up. We need those points in the paint. We can't be smoking layups. We noticed how in game 1, how the Sixers were smoking layups, and they cleaned that up somehow in the second game.
Yeah.
Now it's on us. We got to clean up how we're scoring. We got to clean up how, again, can't live by the 3 and die by the 3. If the 3 is not working, find out and do something else. Get a jumper, get a midi, get to the line. Do what you got to do, but just be aggressive on both ends of the floor. That's all we do.
What you think about this right here? So as I was watching the tail end of the game, I saw when Maxey was attacking, when Vooch was in. Vooch, I know a lot about Vooch because he played with us. He plays hard, but he's not a very good defender, not a good shot blocker. Guys do not fear him at all. How do you feel about putting Garza in a little bit more? Because I think he's a better defender and he's more of a hustler than a Vucevic. Because a lot of times when Maxey was driving, it was like Vucevic would show, but he would never make Maxey make a move. Maxey would just keep stuttering, and he'd just get a layup. So what you think about that?
I like it. I think Garza should be getting more minutes. Garza, has a three. He's more Horford-esque in that sense than I say Vooch is. Vooch, he's not consistent from three. I don't know why he's taking the three. It's actually infuriating that he's taking a three-point shot, bro. And I feel like Garza will give you a nice 2 to 3 at least a game. You know what I'm saying? It may not be as consistent as say Horford was when he was with us, but he'll give you a nice 2 to 3, and he'll defend the ball. He's scrappy. He's more scrappy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As well as Kata. But I feel like Mazzulla needs to understand that, and you know, like you saw what I said. I was talking to J-Mo, and I was like, yo, in the chat, and I was like, yo, we need a sub right now. As soon as I said that, Kata came in. So it's like it's about knowing your squad and just knowing when it's time. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like Garza definitely falls under that more scrappy like role. He needs to be in more than I say Vooch in this for this team.
Yeah, I agree with that because Philly is one thing about Philly. They can scrap. They're gonna scrap. They're gonna play defense.
Oh, yeah.
They're gonna play hard.
Oh yeah.
You know, they're not the Charlotte Hornets. It's a team that's gonna go up and down, score. They're gonna play some ball. You know. So yeah, I agree with you, man. You know, you're going back to Philly. What you want to see from you guys heading into Philly, man? Game 3.
I want to see us locked in and ready. I need to see guys firing on all cylinders like we were in game 1. I need more from D White. Yes, D White, I'm talking to you, bro. You got to step it up, man. Step it up, as Dave would say. You know what I'm saying? I need him to step it up. I need to see more from Pritchard. I need to see more from our guards. I need even our bench squad. You know what I'm saying? Shireman was doing his thing a bit. I'm not gonna get too on him too intense because he was doing his thing. But I need to see more from them guys. You know what I'm saying? They've been here long enough. They know what it takes to win. So I don't want to see the wishy-washiness. I want to see consistency. I want to see good basketball.
Hey, man.
48 minutes.
Yes, sir. Hey, you heard it here from Mike, man. Derek White only 8 points in 39 minutes. Peyton Pritchard 4 points in 27 minutes. That is terrible. That. So yeah, I'm with you on that, Mike, right there, man. Well, man, you know y'all game. I think y'all play what tomorrow, right?
That's it. We gotta
y'all play tomorrow night. So you know, if you got
guys like Oubre.
Oh yeah.
I'll be ready for guys like Maxey. You know, them guys over there. They're ready, man.
Yeah,
they're ready to play.
They're about to have that home crowd behind them too. So, and I keep hearing rumblings about Embiid may come back one of these games. So, I'm not sure if that's going to help them or hurt them, to be quite honest. So, yeah. It's going to be interesting. So, well, I appreciate you, Mike, for coming on, man.
Appreciate you for having me, bro.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. Make sure y'all join the chats because Friday night when the game on, my boy Mike gonna be in there 10 toes down like always.
Always, man. Always. You know, I stay behind my squad, man.
Yes, sir. You want tell your squad any last words before you get up out of here, man?
Let's go Celtics. Let's take care of business. Game 3. Let's stay locked. That's all I got, really, man. Shout outs to RBO. Shout outs to the Refuse to Lose Network. Shout outs to y'all, man.
Yes, sir, man. Appreciate you, Mike, man. Well, you have a good day, man. Get that money. I'm gonna catch you in the chats.
Of course, bro. See you later, man.
All right, my boy.
All right, bro. Later.
That was Mike, man. He's one of the most loyal Boston fans I've ever met. You know, solid, always in the chats, repping his squad. So if you become a member, you definitely gonna see that name, Mike. You gonna see that exact name right there in the chat. So definitely lock in with us. But to sum all this up about the Celtics and the 76ers, man, I wanted to give a shout out to those two guards. VJ Edgecombe, 30 points, 10 rebounds. I think he had a record, first rookie to do so in a while. Then you also had Tyrese Maxey with the 29 and 9. I mean, that's something that Philly fans can really look forward to. You know, they got Embiid, who's in and out the lineup all the time, but this is a very bright future. I remember last year when they got McCain, I was like, yo, they might just want to run with these two guards because those two guys are electrifying, and they still have the same exact thing going on with VJ and Tyrese Maxey. So, Philly fans, that might be something you guys might want to look into. I'm not sure how you can get rid of MB. You might just gotta let him go or whatever. Take that L because those two guards leading the way might be a beautiful thing. You get him a young big man that can catch lobs and rebound. Oh my goodness, that would be crazy. So, hey man. Good dub for the Sixers. Hey, they made me a believer without Embiid. VJ definitely stepped up to the plate. We're going to see how the Celtics respond heading back to Philly. And that game is this Friday, I believe. So we're going to find out. Yeah, this Friday at 7. So next game, we're going to talk about really fast. We're going to get into – I think we're going to the west side right quick, y'all. We're about to go to the west side. And we're going to the Portland Trailblazers versus the San Antonio Spurs. This was a very unfortunate game for Spurs fans because Wemby did suffer an injury. It's a bad fall. He got concussed, and now he's in concussion protocol. I think he's doing he's running and stuff right now, so I think he's gearing back up to get back on the floor. I'm not sure if he's going to make it, when he's going to make it, but this team definitely will need him for sure. Portland took advantage of that, having beat the Spurs in San Antonio 106-103. And I really enjoyed this game because it was just a nail biter. You had a little bit of everything out there. Portland, we got to give a big shout out to Scoot Henderson, former 3rd overall pick, came out the same year Wemby came out behind Wemby and Brandon Miller. And he had a coming out party. Starting off in the first quarter, dropping 13 points, going 3 from 3 from the 3-point line. He set the tone. And you guys hear me say that a lot because that's what you need, man, in the playoffs. You need, just period when you're playing basketball, but especially in the playoffs, you have to set the tone. And that's what Scoot Henderson did, coming out firing. So this was a game that Scoot Henderson needed because ever since he got drafted top 3, you saw little splashes here and there of why he was drafted top 3. But then injury set in, then he fell out of the rotation. But the injury to Shaedon Sharpe was a blessing in disguise for him because he was able to get back into the rotation. And look, he's making the most of it. First game, he dropped like 18, and now 31. He's been the most consistent scorer for this team. And I thought that this was just a good sighting to see. You got a guy like Shaedon Sharpe still. So Shaedon Sharpe, Denny, and Scoot, that's a good 3, to be quite honest. You can probably move on from a Drew Holiday in the offseason. So I thought this Scoot really came out this game and just let the world know why he was picked top 3 like that. But that wasn't just the story of the game, I must say. I think that later on in the game, the Spurs just couldn't buy a basket, man. It was one possession. Fox got like 2 or 3 looks and couldn't make none of them. Stephon Castle got to try out it, and then he airballed. So this team really missed Wemby down the stretch, someone that they can get the ball to and he can just get a straight-up bucket. But when Fox had the ball, this was a moment I thought Fox was going to step up. This would have been a critical win for the Spurs team to go up 2-0 without their best player heading back to Portland because they don't want to find themselves down 3-1 heading back to San Antonio because that's a bad territory to be in, to be quite honest. Because this Blazers team isn't as bad as people think. Led by Denny, Drew Holiday had a better game. I remember on last game I said he has to play better. Can't come out there having dust. He didn't shoot the ball great, but later on in the game, he made a lot of key plays, made a lot of key passes that I thought that were very pivotal. He had finished with 16, 5 rebounds, and 9 assists. I thought that Donovan Clingan made his presence known a lot more, almost having a double-double, 9 points, 10 rebounds. Last game, he was a no-show. But the absence of Wembanyama is going to be very detrimental to this team because they have to find someone that they can rely on later on in the game that can get a good shot. And the Blazers made it very difficult to believe in those guys last night because during the crunch time, buckets came very hard to come across for the San Antonio Spurs. So this series is going to really determine. It's going to be determined by the health of Wemby, to be quite honest. If Wemby doesn't return, I'm not sure if they have a shot. Robert Williams off the bench, 5 from 6 from the field, 11 points, 9 rebounds, big game. And if you look at the other end, Cornette matched his intensity. It was just Wemby was out. So next game, we will see. That game is also Friday, and they go back to Portland. Shout out to Scoot Henderson putting himself back on the map in the playoffs. That's where you make your name, and he's taking advantage of that, man. So shout out to Scoot. Next game, moving on to the Lakers and the Houston Rockets. This Houston Rockets team is one of the worst teams you would want to watch, I must say. Before I go into this, I want to thank everybody that's tuning in with your boy. Keep hitting them comments, like, subscribe, and share to anybody that's an NBA fan because the playoffs are here. The Rockets lose another one to the Lakers, 101-94, as LeBron drops 28 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. Marcus Smart, 25 points, 7 assists, 5 steals. Luke Kennett, 23.6 rebounds and 3 steals. This Lakers team is just outplaying this Rockets team straight up. It's just straight up. You know, it's funny because we made a lot of jokes about the Lakers team, about how old they are. You know, they said they don't got no youth out there. They need some more, get a little younger. The 2 young guys, they got hurt. And this Rockets team is full of youth. And they had to go get a guy like KD, a veteran. But it seems like these young guys can't keep up with the old heads. Marcus Smart is out here looking like he back on the Celtics, going in for a run for a championship right now. 5 steals, 25 points, 5 steals, 7 assists. Marcus Smart, how many threes he hit? I think he hit like 5 threes on him too. Here we go, right here. Yes, 5 from 7 from 3. Ime Udoka is on a hot seat right now, I must say. I don't think he's getting fired or nothing, but he's getting exposed at a high level. LeBron James, what else can we say about him, man? 41 years old, and he's out here just dominating the game, almost averaging a triple-double in the playoffs once again. Shout out to him, man. I know a lot of times teams, people want to say third option is this and that, Reed, this and that, Austin Reed's better than this and that, this and that. Listen, I know right now if this was Austin Reeves leading this team, they'll be down 0-2. I guarantee you, 0-2. They'll be down 0-2. If Luka was leading this team, it might be 1-1. I don't know. Bron is different. Bron brings the best out of his teammates, man. And it's just been like that all his career. That's why I say it's going to be hard for another player to do what Bron used to do, carry a team by himself, because a lot of guys that dominate the ball now, they shoot a lot of threes. And that's one thing Bron don't do. He don't put your team in bad positions by shooting a lot of threes. He's going to attack the basket. He can do anything on the court to help. And that's why he's so great. But let's talk. This game is more about the Rockets because what is going on? They still don't understand their offense. They don't have an offense. KD, 23 points, 7 from 12 from the field. KD. Sengun shot more shots. Jabari Smith shot more shots. Tari Eason shot more shots than KD. Thompson only shot 2 less shots than KD. KD also had 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 9 turnovers. The 9 turnovers came because Ime Udoka. This is so funny to me. Do you guys remember when the Celtics played against the Brooklyn Nets when they had Kyrie and KD over there? I think James Harden was hurt. And KD, that was probably the worst series KD ever played in his career. he was getting plugged. He couldn't get the ball down the court. He couldn't really get no buckets. It's because they had him doing too much. KD can dribble. KD can bring the ball up, but he's not a primary ball handler. He's not a guy that if you got an excellent ball handler on him, that's gonna make him work. He just going all day. He can handle that. He's not CP3, and that's not what he do. He's not there for that. He's there to put the ball in the basket and help the offense flow. And it's funny because Udoka, you coached against KD, and you did the exact same thing. You made him the primary ball handler. And what happened? It did not work out for him. So now you as his head coach, you're going to try it again, even later in his career? Come on, man. Make it make sense. Your other guy that can really create on offense off the wing, Reed Shepherd, only had 3 shots at the basket. Ime Udoka, you're getting exposed more and more, bro, because you don't have an offense. You cannot facilitate an offense for your team. There's no way that this Lakers team should just be dominating this team like this defensively. Marcus Smart, once again, is looking like he's going for Defensive Player of the Year again on y'all. So y'all got to clean this up, man, because you got good players. You got good personnel. You just have to implement an offense that's going to bring the best out of them. And to be quite honest, I think it's over for you guys because we're sitting here in the third game of a playoff series and you still don't have an offense. This is going to forever be the conversation until Van Vliet come back or y'all get a point guard. Y'all don't have a point guard to help initiate your offense. So that's why you guys are going to just keep on. Y'all just going to keep falling, man. You're not going to beat a well-coached team that way. And even if you want to say JJ not a good coach, I think he's a solid coach. But he has to do a little bit more to be considered a good coach. But they also have LeBron James, one of the highest IQs to ever play basketball. Marcus Smart has a high IQ. Luke Kennard has a high IQ. These are good basketball players, and they are exposing this Rockets team. So they better figure something out. KD got interviewed. He was saying he should shoot. He got to shoot more shots. He got to find guys for easier shots. I like him taking ownership, but to be honest, it's not on you, just you, KD. This is like, people had Sengun high. I had him ranked high as one of these young stars. He had to play better basketball. Ayton is not a defender. He should be able to get off on Ayton. And he's a good passer. He has to just open up his game by doing a little bit more out there in the court. So KD, in the beginning, he was playing aggressive. He was getting to his spots, pulling up, dropping them off. He had, 13 points in the first half. Second half disappeared. Because you're trying to do too much being a primary ball handler when you need to just be an assassin out there. Let Sengun and Thompson, all them boys do that. You drop 40. I want you to go for 40. All right? And I think that's what he's going to do next game. He's going to drop about 35 on these boys. But he's going to have to do something. Because if he don't, LeBron James will get you up out of there with lesser talent. And what is that going to say about your legacy against LeBron? Because last time y'all faced in the playoffs, you had that monster team. And he still put numbers up, but you did get at him too. But it's easy to do that when Steph and Clay out there. Let's see how you do when you got Thompson and Sengun out there with you. Young bucks that don't really know what to do. You got to really lead. And I think you're good enough to do it, bro. I think the Rockets team isn't bad. It's just all about how they run their offense and how the structure is. And that's on coaching. So players got to step up. Coaching got to step up. If not, Lakers in 5. All right, next game. The Pistons versus the Magic. Woo, that was a rough and tough game last night, man. Shout out to the Pistons and the Magic. This is probably the most physical battle so far in the first round. And it's like that every year with the Magic. Whenever they play in the first round, when they played those last 2 years in the first round, both games were very physical. But the Magic fall to the Pistons 83-98. Pistons defense showed up big time as Cade led them with 27 points, 11 assists, followed by Tobias Harris with 16 points, 11 rebounds, big time rebounding game. Duncan Robinson, he had 10 points. Durn, 11 and 9. Then you had Amin Thompson with 11 points, 8 rebounds. I'm gonna give Isaiah Stewart some love. He played aggressive. He had a couple of blocks. He brought some intensity for the team off the bench in 16 minutes, 10 points. He had 5 rebounds, and he also had 2 blocks. So shout out to the big Stu. On the Magic side, we had 19 from Suggs, 19, 6 and 4, 12 points, 2 from 11 from the field from Desmond Bain, unacceptable. 3 points from Wendell Carter, 1 for 6 from the field, 5 rebounds. He did get in some foul trouble. I think it was later in the third quarter, but he did not have a good game at all. Settling a lot for jumpers. Franz Wagner, 12 points, 7 rebounds, 4 from 11 from the field, shot terrible as well. Paulo, 18 points, 7 from 17, 6 rebounds, 8 assists. Man, what a game for the Pistons. The game started off pretty even. Pistons shot the ball pretty well early on. They did turn the ball over a lot of times. Magic could not buy a bucket. The Pistons, I believe, had like 6 or 7 blocks in the first half. And the story of this game was the third quarter, man. Third quarter, the Pistons outscored the Magic by 22 points, pretty much killing them, extending the lead. And the Magic just couldn't regain themselves. The lead got up to almost 30 points at one time. It was just abysmal. So the Magic ended up shooting 33% from the field, while the Pistons shot 46% from the field. Neither team shot. The Magic shot better from the free throw line. We just couldn't make enough. They both turned the ball over a lot. First game, the Magic dominated the paint. This game, the Pistons dominated the paint. 34 from 54 in the paint for the Pistons. Was had a lot to do with the game. Pistons got a lot of easy layups. They got a lot of points at the basket, creating turnovers, blocking shots, getting out on the break. And Cade Cunningham was virtually unstoppable. It's not too many guys that can really stop him one-on-one. I do like the matchup with him and Franz Wagner head up. I think Franz is a really good defender for him. I think he makes it tough on him. He doesn't really score that easy on Franz. But the Pistons and Cade, they do a really good job of just getting the mismatches he wants. And they make sure he gets the ball. When he gets it, he does not play around with the game. He's either going straight to the basket, getting straight to a spot, and he's getting a bucket. That's the one thing you got to love about Cade. No one can speed him up. His game is very smooth and fluid, and he has almost every move in the book. And he's an excellent passer. So it's when you have a guy like that leading your offense, it just makes everybody else around them better. Now, Jalen Duren, he didn't really have an excellent game. They tried to get him going a bit, but the real story of the game was just their overall team defense. I thought the Magic got sped up a lot by their defense, took a lot of fast shots. They made a lot of bad passes. Then, later in the game, I felt like this Magic team was playing a little selfish out there. It's a lot of times when guys were driving, they could have dumped it off to the big, or they could have kicked it out, and they forced it. And when you have that going on, you're not going to win. You're not going to come back on a team that plays excellent team defense. You're going to need everybody out there to be playing. So that's one thing that the Magic have to be better at. They got to be better at consistently playing team ball. And also, the game plan for the Magic, I'm not sure why we didn't come out the way they came out the first game. Paulo's first couple shots were him in the mid-post first game. Not so much the case this game. This game, it was a lot of him on the perimeter. Not a lot of times he was in the paint. When he was in the paint, posted or mid-post, something good happened 9 times out of 10. So I think we got to get back to that. Paulo had to step up, and he had to set the tone. He had one moment in the game. It was like a series or two where he was very, very indecisive. Instead of him just going straight up to shoot, he's looking to pass. And you can't play like that in the playoffs, bro. Especially on the away. When we away. when we're away, we're gonna need our guys to step up, and you're our guy, so you got to step up. So for this Magic and this Pistons matchup, I thought that it was very physical. I think that the Magic already did their job by winning one home game. I mean, one road game in Detroit. Now all they have to do is defend home. And in the past, they played pretty well at home when healthy. If you recall back 2 years ago when they played the Cavs, they virtually blew them out every game at home. So if they can replicate that, then this Magic team should be moving on to the second round. But they gotta be consistent, man. They can't play one way one game and then switch it up and play differently a different game. And I just think that they gotta be consistent, man. But shout out to Cade Cunningham leading the way, just showing guys how good he really is. You know, I got a lot of flack early on in the year when I said I think he got more upside than Anthony Edwards, and he's kind of proving my point. Defensively, he can be better, but he did have a good block, and I just think he's a really good player. Hard to stop. He's very fluent. Like I said, got every move, can hit every shot, and he's just a dog. He wants it, and you can tell he wants it. But he does tend to have a lot of turnovers at times, but you would not expect it. You have to live with that when he's working with what he got. You know, there's nobody else that's really gonna get too many buckets. Tobias Harris did become a lot more aggressive in the second half. You know, I was in the NBA chat, become a member so you can lock in the NBA chat. We do be having live debates during the game. Everybody watches, and it's pretty lit. But, you know, I talked about how Tobias wasn't aggressive in the first half, and he was. But the Magic, you guys really should have capitalized on this game, man. First half, you were shooting about 20-something%, and they were shooting about 55%, and it was a tie ball game. But third quarter, you got outscored by 22, and that was murder she wrote, because fourth quarter, you end up winning it by 7. But that third quarter, man, you put yourself in that big of a hole, and you could not dig yourself out. So the series is now tied 2-2. Can the Magic take care of business at home? Offensively, they started to look a bit abysmal out there, but I think that they'll be able to clean it up and bounce back at home, because when that crowd's behind you, it's a ball game. But Paulo, you got to be better. The offense, a lot of this starts with you. A lot of it starts with you, bro. So that's all I'm going to say. All right. We're on to our final game, the game that was on last night. Man, Jalen Williams, man, you messed my parlay up last night. Took you for 5 rebounds, and you had 1. SGA had 5. But I already took SGA for 30 and 8. But hey, it's all good. All right. Thunder versus the Suns, man. If y'all know what I said about this, I think the Suns are going to get swept in this series. They are showing me a lot more fight than I expected, to be quite honest. OKC won 120-107, led by SGA dropping 37, 5 rebounds, 9 assists, and then Jalen Williams and Shet both chipping in with 19 points. Then on the other end, the big three from the Suns, they had a decent game. 30 points for Dillon Brooks, 22 for Devin Booker, and then Jalen Green with 21 points. Now, one thing about this OKC team, they're going to win the strength and numbers battle. And if you look at the box score, it kind of explains that. You get the 30, the 22, the 21 from Booker, Green, and Brooks. Then you get 16 from Royce O'Neal, 7, and 4 from 3 other players. But they only play 8 players, and 7 of them played double-digit minutes. If you go to the Thunder's bench, they played 10 players, double-digit minutes, all of them. And 8 of them played over 20 minutes. So that already, when you have more depth, that gives you guys with more energy, guys that can. Cason Wallace did not score a bucket yesterday, but he played 21 minutes. He got 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 steals. And that's where strength in numbers helps you. Because when you got a team, when all of them know what the goal is, they play cohesiveness, they got a leader, this is what you get. Now the Suns didn't play a terrible game. The game was fairly close for most of the game. I think Devin Booker has to take more shots than 14. 7 from 14 from the field. That's a pretty efficient game. But the story of the game is the turnovers, man. Your two best players, Jalen Green, 7 turnovers. Devin Booker had 5. That's 12 turnovers amongst those two. But here's where they lost the game. Turnovers, not just them two, though. So that's 12 turnovers between them two. OKC had 10 turnovers as a team. They had 10. They only gave up 9 points off of turnovers. They lost by 13, right? That's the Suns, right? Well, they had 22 turnovers, and guess how many points they gave up? 22 points. What's the difference between 22 and 9? 13. And you lost by 13. So if you take care of the basketball, you just might have a shot at beating this team. But it's hard to say that because they go 10 deep and they got swarming defense. They got guys that can slide the feet, guys that are active, guys that play the passing lane. They double, they rotate. I mean, they're physical. So the Suns, you guys kind of changed my mind just a little bit about getting swept because despite, all the turnovers, you guys still only lost by 13. So coming at home, y'all are missing your big boy. What's my boy name? Williams. Y'all mix Mark Williams. Y'all mixing big boy Mark Williams. Y'all definitely need him out there. But I think Devin Booker has to do more out here, though. Dylan Brooks had a good game, but the best way to beat an OKC team is with tough shot making and good passing. You got to take care of the basketball. You got to make some tough shots. And I think Devin Booker should have the ball in his hand more because he's a tough shot maker that can pass. But he has to get more aggressive. I heard him speaking about the fouls and how the refs let OKC. It's the playoffs, man. Look, I'm a Magic fan. I was watching the Pistons game last night. I felt like, they was letting them boys get a little aggressive out there, pushing and grabbing and holding, but playoff basketball. That's how they've been playing all year. And I think the refs let teams play how they play. So you guys just got to adjust. And the big three just got to be the big three. And I think y'all might can get one. I'm going to give y'all one. But OKC is now up 2-0. They head back to Phoenix. Let's see if Phoenix can bounce back, man. See if Phoenix get them a dub. All right. So that's all the games we were going to recap. Once again, shout out to the young guards out here balling in the playoffs, making a name for themselves. Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Scoot Henderson, and Kate Cunningham. All those guys balled out of control. Out of control. And then if you head over, I can give a shout out to my boy Dylan Brooks and SGA as well. 30 balls. But today we have 3 more games. We have the Knicks versus the Hawks, which is a 1-1 series. Then we have the Cavs traveling to Toronto. Then we have the Nuggets traveling over to Minnesota. And this is the first time the home teams will be home. So it's going to be interesting to see how each team perform on the road and one at home. So give your predictions. You know how Vaughn do. I'm going to be on here tomorrow to give y'all my breakdown on what I think I saw and what I think went wrong and why and who and where. But make sure you like, subscribe, share this. Become a member. The link is down low. Also, tap in with all the different shows on the network. I want to say thank you guys for locking in with your boy. We got more episodes to do. Playoffs. We're just in round 1. It ain't over yet. We got the Knicks, Hawks, Cavs, Raps, Nuggets, Timberwolves. Your boy gonna have something to say tomorrow because with these 3 games, real ballers gonna have to ball.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, And also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.